perfectionism. And when I feel contracted about money, and I admit occasionally that happens, I know that's a call for me to give more. I have to empty something out to have something new come in. So if you have any kind of uncomfortable feeling even hearing about tithing, I'm going to be at the tithing table afterwards, and I am so happy to talk about it because it has been proved over and over in my life, and it makes such a huge difference on more levels than I have time to talk about right now. So,
thank you. Yay!
I do want to say one more thing, though. That on the tithing table is this story of the Michigan tithing experiment, and it is wild. So make sure you get a copy of it.
Thank you. And we appreciate every single pledge, no matter what size, and we love you equally, completely, and totally. So if you're going to pledge today, great. And if you have not wrapped yourself in love in this community yet and feel like this is your home, this talk is for your prosperity as well, because I am devoted to every single one of us experiencing prosperity, abundance in whatever ways our soul desires. And I will not stop until we're all there. So, so you're going to have me for, I don't know, years and years. The word today is divine law.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'm not going anywhere. And our principle is, as ye sow, so shall ye reap. Now, I've been saying that there are three parts to experiencing prosperity. We have to have all three. We can't let any of them go. And whether or not you tithe, whether or not you give to this community, these are the principles that prosperous people experience and live, and you have to have all of these. So today is the third one, but I'm going to review the first two. The first one is there is more than enough of everything we want or need. That was the faith in plenty. Well, there's plenty out there, and if you need money, it'll come to you from wherever it is now because there's plenty out there. And every arithmetic thing that looks at the money in the world says that. Then the second one is each and every one of us is deserving of their good. That means that you are a precious creation of spirit, and you deserve to be supplied and supported in your life. That was last week. So today is the last principle. You only have to have these three. And this principle today is the creative law is absolutely infallible. So the first metaphysical lesson, no matter where you ever got your first metaphysical lesson, whether it was from Ernest Holmes or Wayne Dyer or the movie The Secret, if it was Abraham through the Hicks couple, if it was modern culture, if it was ancient shamanism or ancient religion, the first principle of any metaphysical teaching is what you think about, believe, worry about, choose, accept mentally is what you get. That's it. As you sow, so shall ye reap. Galia did this wonderful, wonderful altar, and outside of Mom, which also, oh, by the way, isn't this beautiful? It's a gorgeous altar. When you pledge, you get a gift from Mom. You get her principles of tithing in a bookmark, so that should push you over the edge. But here is the As You Think book by James Allen. Here is the magic wand that you speak your word and have it be so. And whatever you can do or dream you can, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. Begin it now by Goethe. And then this is a goddess opening to the wings of plenty. Just a couple more quotes. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. It is done unto you according to your beliefs. And the law always says yes. So everything agrees that our consciousness is causative. This week in the foundations class, and I'm teaching two sections of the foundations class, and it was about the creative law. And this is a quote from the foundations class. All of you in class, this should be very familiar to you. The law of attraction is the spiritual principle of the law of attraction is exact and impersonal. It is a dynamic of the mind in which we attract what we think about. As in mind, so in manifestation. Where attention goes, energy flows. So that's the law. That's what we live with. And whether you believe it or not, precious ones, I believe it's working in your life. That what you think about is what you get more of. So we know this at some level, and yet there is still a question about exactly what do we do? What do we pray for? What do we think about? Especially when we're in confusion or desperation. I believe that even though in the Goethe quote it says that there's magic, it seems like there's magic when you work the law, but magic like something appearing out of nowhere, like the rabbit out of the hat, or the, winning the lottery out of the mystery of God, usually doesn't happen because I define magic as unbelievable good that there is nowhere in your consciousness that you believe it. That would be magic. That something good appears and you are like, oh my God. You wouldn't even recognize it. You wouldn't recognize it because you don't have the consciousness for it. So with this in mind, the minister's listserv gave me the material for the talk today. Now, so you get this. Here's a minister, precious minister, who said, he wrote this. This week during Foundations class, I mentioned in passing a woman I know who has for 10 years been treating to win the lottery. She has not succeeded. I pointed out that whatever we experience as a result of spiritual mind treatment is in accordance with natural law. In my opinion, no amount of treatment or belief will result in God intervening to fix the statistical odds for us. I further pointed out that if spiritual mind treatment could cause us to win the lottery, our centers, or at least our ministers and practitioners, should be rolling in millions. This does not appear to be the case. A couple of students challenged me, and I'm not sure that the ensuing discussion clarified matters. Can anyone tackle this? This was put out on the listserv. So there were lots and lots of responses, but I copied 2 of them for you because I thought they were all wise in their own way. Some of them were kind of funny and tongue-in-cheek. Ministers' jokes would not be funny for you. But anyway, 18 years ago, this is one response, I was 5 figures in debt and had $30 in my checking account, and my career as a stand-up comic was floundering. I was treating big time for work, for money, for clarity of purpose, but not specifically treating to win the lottery. Then my girlfriend got pregnant. We got married, we had a beautiful son, I found work I never even knew existed today, and today there is no debt outside of a rapidly declining mortgage and 5 figures in just the checking account. Truly, I won the lottery, but not the kind with numbered balls. Opening to this or something greater allowed for my deepest wants, even those I did not know, to be realized. Now, this is a man who encompassed the 3 aspects of abundance. That he believed in plenty, he believed in his deservability, and he believed that the law worked, and he opened to something greater. And then here's the last response. I guess it comes back to that ask, seek, and find process. But the first is ask. The question is not, in my opinion, whether or not one can treat to win the lottery, but rather looking for a quick fix to a much bigger problem with a lack of abundance consciousness. Having said that, the lottery can be the channel as well as anything else. And then they quote Terry Cole Whitaker with regard to prosperity, who said, anyone can manifest a Cadillac, but you're not going to keep the Cadillac with a Volkswagen consciousness. So I thought that, we don't need to know prosperity lessons when we're feeling prosperous. So I thought that I would go deeper into this work, as I always want to do with you, because it's your work to do, and I want to give you the pathway. So We have different environments in which we create. The environment has to do with our own mood, our own consciousness that we bring to the table. And so I want you to remember that the part of this law of abundance is that all good is continually given, and that we have in our life right now, by right of consciousness, exactly what we have accepted. It's what we have accepted in consciousness, not what we hope for, because hope has with it that belief that it would be magic if we got it. So what I have seen is that generally, and often specifically, what we accept in consciousness we get. And so if we want to have something different, we change consciousness. And we do that by seeing a practitioner, by taking a class, and by coming to things that we offer, like on Thursday night with Francine and Reverend Lloyd, and then Francine's class. There's always something going for you and me to learn prosperity consciousness so that you and me can experience it. So here are the ways that here are the environments in which we create. First one is life is good. We're rolling along. We're happy. We're grateful. Just like Posey said, we're grateful. We are grateful for our blessings, and we want it even better. Now, all of us have been in a place like this, in some place in our life. We are just in intense well-being, and we go, wow, I'll have some more, please. And so when we are happy, that even better usually isn't more cars or more houses or more things to dust, for God's sakes. It is really what we want is greater usefulness in the world. We want greater expression. We want greater ease. We want more to give, and we want a continuation that our needs are being met. But if we want to shift into even better, a really good tool for that is visioning, to say, what is my next step? What can I open to? What is bigger? What can make me more useful? And how can my talents be used more? I'm doing this actually right now in my own life, because anybody that's been around for a while knows that my passion is rituals and teaching people about rituals and doing ceremony and teaching ceremony and having transformational experiences through getting out of our environment here and going overseas and seeing ancient holy sites. That's my passion. And so I am opening to more of that. Let me say I'm not going anywhere here, but I have an idea of how I can share with you more of this. I haven't even said this to anybody, so Court Counsel, you'll be getting a memo. But I want to teach a monthly class in ritual next year. That's my passion. And I think, why not bring it to you guys? And just to let you know that pretty much every single time I'm away from here on a Sunday, it's because I'm doing that work somewhere else. So I want to bring the work here too. So that's how I open, because I love this part of my life, and I'm opening to more. So another environment in which we create is life is hard. And there's some parts to it that kind of hurt. And we think we know what would be good. We want a specific solution. And this is that place where we go, I want more money, and I think winning the lottery might do it. And so we have, it's a very different state of awareness as the one I just explained to you about being open and happy with your life and wanting more. It's like, oh God, this doesn't really feel good. I really need more. I need more. I want more. I hope for more. I'm worried and I'm needy. And can you feel the difference between, woohoo, I am happy and I can take more of this, to I need more, I'm not particularly happy. So that felt state of anxiety is really what you put into the law. And the law always says yes. So if you are trying to create from a state of anxiety, which is actually a state of fear, what you're going to get is pretty much more of what you have. Rather, what would be more effective when life is not going well is to say, what would feel better here? What would feel better is abundance. And abundance, I'm thinking, would feel like freedom, or abundance would feel like creativity. Abundance would feel like openness. Abundance would feel large. And so you start meditating on what it is you want by actually conjuring the feeling state of what it is that you want to experience. And you might even say to yourself, I remember what abundance feels like. And I'm going to sit in that memory of that feeling and accept more of my good. And you know what? The law always says yes. It is a happy thing to work in a class or with a practitioner about this too, but that's the way you do it. You can't create out of desperation anything you want. But there's a step more, and that is life is hard, and it's so hard, I just want relief. I have no idea. I have no clue. Things are so bad. The surprise that I just got is so awful that there is loss or tragedy, and you feel like you have absolutely no control and you're in fear. What makes us sometimes feel better than being in fear is actually a false intuition, and that is, I've got to feel more powerful than this fear makes me feel. I feel completely out of control and powerless. And so what we do is we get mad. We get mad at God, or we say, this stuff doesn't work, and we throw the textbook out the window or into a mirror or across the room, and we just give up our study of an orderly universe. And we believe in luck, and we've had bad luck. And we try to control what we don't even know what we want. And all of those things that make us feel a little more powerful temporarily than the fear lead to greater tragedy and greater miring in the muck. So, there is and plus, you think, well, I didn't create this. I certainly didn't create this. But if we believe in the law, which is infallible, somewhere there is a cause. And I believe, we think sometimes that the cause is behind us, and so we look at what we've worried about and what we feared, and sometimes that's true. But I also think that sometimes the cause is out in front of us, and the hard times are a hero's beacon. We are being called to something greater than we are. Terence McKenna said, for me, the key to unlocking what is going on in history, creativity, and progressive processes of all sorts is to see the state of completion at the end as a kind of higher dimensional object that casts an enormous flickering shadow over the lower dimensions of organization of which this universe is one. What that means is that there is an invitation in front of you to become more. And what you need to get through is this hero's journey that is in front of you. And so to say things like, somewhere there is a cause, and I do not know what it is. Somewhere there is a path to peace, and I will find it with the help of my source. I surrender into the peace that passes understanding. So what I'm saying to you is the way to work with the law when your life is so bad that you don't know what to do is to surrender into God and take the next step. Just like, Indiana Jones did, stepping out over that crevice, and there was the pathway that he could step on. There will be that pathway for you. So there is nothing else to do but surrender because you don't know how to control it. And Rumi said, the wound is the place where the light enters you. Many of you have heard the story of when I had cancer 12 years ago or so. I won't go into the whole thing, but what I learned is that I prayed for a deeper experience of my ministry and to be more useful to people. And the next thing I knew, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And that prayer was answered and is answered over and over and over and over again through that experience that I thought, how did I create this? But surrendering into it, it has been very useful. Now, what happens is that we don't stay in one of these places. And as fulfilled as my life is now, there might come, I imagine there will come a time when I have a bad surprise and something will help me surrender into God even more. It happens for people. And I don't want us to be scared of our philosophy when something comes into our life that seems bad and we don't think we wanted it and we didn't see how we created it. But I'm telling you, I believe it is a gift. And so we go through that hero's journey and we get to the place where life is great and life is good. And then there's something that sort of doesn't feel quite right, and we use our tools to envision what might be greater and use our spiritual mind treatment and affirmations to move into that feeling state of abundance or love or forgiveness or healing or whatever it might be. And we go back and forth through all of these more and more and more, staying content. And even having that feeling in the depths of a disturbance that even though this is happening, I so have faith in my source. And so I want to just beg you again to go deeply into this philosophy. Take the classes, use your practitioners, and over time, working with the law makes us humble, powerful, skillful forces for good in the world, for you and for everybody else. It is majestic. It is thrilling. It is my life's work, and I can't do anything else. So please join me in prayer. And share with me these beautiful words from the letter to the Christians at Philippi. It's in the book of Philippians. Whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, and if there be any praise, think on these things. And so I practice using my mind as a powerful focusing agent of my life. I see what is good in my life and in the world. And not knowing every answer, I open to the mind of God. I accept an abundance of all good, and I see myself and all others as deserving and powerful. I see the world as offering me exactly what I need for my greatest good and my greatest growth. And I am content to work the law as I understand it, and I am excited about using the law for even greater good. I ask all here to join me in these intentions. So be it now and forevermore.
gently, slowly find their way. Beautiful like ribbons in the wind, ribbons in the wind. I surrender all I am, all I am. I surrender all I am. Space, I'm riding high, I'm wild with grace. Feel the joy upon my face, on my face. Oh, surrender all I am. Water droplet in my hand, filled with all infinity. Ocean essence glimmering in my hand. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Embrace myself as all that is. Vastness spiked with cosmic bliss. Hugging all this holiness. I surrender all I am.
Beautiful. Now, it's almost time for our tithes and offerings, but there's one more person I'd like to have share with you today, and that's Skip Fowler, longtime member.
This community has served 4 generations of my family over a period of 30 years. And this time every year, I always think about all the things the benefits that I get and my family gets from this church. And it goes on and on. I always thought that a lot of these would be common to everybody, but then there's certain areas that aren't part of our experience. Maybe classes you don't take, you don't have kids, this stuff, blah, 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 blah. Well, we do have kids. And I'll tell you that the little kids up on that stage, they grow up and they go out into the world. And let's face it, things happen. Slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, perhaps some consequences of unwise lifestyle choices, things to deal with. And I asked one of my kids one time who had gone through a very tough patch, I said, "How did you do this? This was horrible." And he said, Dad, I just applied science of mind principles. Duh! Wow, it was a pretty simple answer. I was expecting something really. And then when they also realized that what they had that the other kids didn't. And then when you are fortunate to be associated with a movement like this, you meet a lot of kids from Science of Mind. And when those kids tell you, don't worry about it, Dad, we'll take care of you. We've got your back. That's heavy duty stuff. So you might not have kids. It might not be part of your experience at all. But this is something that's truly benefiting everybody here. And I'm thinking that there's a lot of things like this that don't occur to you, that you are supporting, that other people will realize, other people will get benefit that you don't know about. So just assume that this is vast good that you're doing, things that never occurred to you. And in closing, I'd just like to say one thing. We know that there's many paths to God. But if that pathway is not maintained, it recedes and goes back to the forest. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you. Yay! Oh, Kathy's husband, good job. Would the ushers please come forward now? And as you prepare your tithes and offerings, know that they do go to great good. Whatever you give today maintains this wonderful place, this wonderful philosophy, and the opportunity that someone can come next Sunday and have their life completely transformed and healed because of your foundational support. So just whatever you're giving, and if you are an automatic giver, just take one of those little cards or just put your hands next to your heart and realize that these are the hands that give. They give love, they give attention, and they put the money in the basket. They put the checks in the basket. And the heart that is right behind those hands makes the choice of sending supply and good thoughts, high vision to where we are divinely supported. This is a good thing that we do. It is blessed, and so it is. Amen. So would the ushers please receive the gifts?
I just want to thank you for all you bring to me. I just want to thank you. Your love has set me free. I just want to thank you for all you bring to me. I just want to thank you. Your love has set me free. I just want to thank you for all you bring to me. I just want to thank you. Your love has set me free. Jesus set me free.
And so I just give thanks for the dear hearts, the dear hands that made this gift today. It goes into this community to bless and to prosper all of those tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow, those generations that are here and yet to come. I give thanks for every single person here today and the gifts they have given, and know that we are so, so blessed. And so it is. Amen. And so before I have Janet pray us out, I want to remind you that we have gifts for Scorpios up here. The tables, the pledge tables are going to be brought out, so if the chairs could be like assembled away from the tables, that would be good. If you're interested in knowing how to put the Golden Gate Center in your estate plan, that table is over there. We have sign-ups for the classes for Thanksgiving and for all the classes right here at the education table, and then we have all kinds of shopping to do, all kinds of shopping. And next week is the end of daylight saving time. So this is your first reminder, okay? So let's have, Facebook in the behind the stage. So would the practitioners surround the room and those on the table come forward, please?
So the practitioners who are coming forward are available to you for your direct application of the principle of this morning that thou shalt declare a thing and it will be established for you, because the law always says yes. And our practitioner community is enveloping the room in that infinite love. And I know that this love is exquisite, unconditional, and it is in each and every one of us. The divine love that is all that is that interconnecting, interweaving energy that unifies, uplifts, and brings forth the greatest good for all right here, right now. As I speak this word, I know that it is the divine in me, as me, through me, that reveals the blessing. And I know that this truth is true for each and every one of us. There is not one greater than another. Each and all are representative of the divine, the microcosm of the macrocosm, the infinite, exquisite universe of life expressing. And so all that we may desire is already given. And so we accept the good that is flowing even now into the vessel of our receptivity. Love, abundance, creativity, inspiration, healing. It is given. And it is in consciousness that we receive it. And so I speak this word of receptivity, allowing the greatest good for all to flow unhindered into fulfillment through this word. I give thanks for that fulfillment, allowing it to overflow and spill over and to become more of itself right now. As I release this word into the law of mind, I know it is accomplished, established, and so I let it be, and so it is. Amen.
So I invite all of you to stand for our affirmation and closing song, and come back next week. If you come back at this time next week, you'll get to help us set up. So that would be fun. Okay, affirmation together. I know the creative law is always working in my life, so I continually look to the good in my thoughts, words, and deeds. Far from wanting to control all outcomes, I allow more and more joy and divinity into my life every day. Okay.
Because it's easier to sing.